Just manuals for the phone and fax machine, you know, technical stuff. The rich cherrywood finish of my new desk presents an image of stability and success to my clients. One thing's for sure, this isn't the only love seat in the office. The lady on QVC said these commemorative Elvis plates were collectibles. I figure I got my retirement all taken care of. All right. Looks like the latest issue of Boyd's Life has arrived. I wonder what that crazy Boyd is up to this month. Oh, Boyd's Life. Annual fishing issue. I wonder what those twins are up to this month. The guy who sold me my stone masks said either they were a fertility charm or would curse me to lifelong poverty and a violent death. Live dangerously, I say. Well, I'm not sure why, but this sculpture is called Every Day is Sunday to a Bird. The compendium of mediocre Sherlock Holmes ripoffs. My favorite is the short story by Joe Esterhaus, The Sign of the Thong. Made these vases in my high school pottery class. It was the easiest B- I ever got. I use this tape to measure my success. I've just got to dust it off and it'll work like a charm. Some people have power ties. I have power plants. This is where letters of recommendation and thank yous from clients will go. Oops, this letter from the Colonel's been misfiled. This is the one thing that I refuse to skimp on. It's the finest cot that money can buy. Humphrey Bogart, my one true inspiration. I'm saving these bottles of cold duck for a special romantic dinner. All of the flavor and none of the mind-numbing alcohol. When it comes to fashionable attire, I believe in quality over quantity. Uh-oh, only one pair left. I'd better be careful. The Royal Game of India. In my book, Parcheesi, Twister, and Ms. Pac-Man are the triumvirate of competitive gaming. Well, 5 would be nice here.
Are you the private investigator?
Oh, that's what someone painted on the door.
I'll take that as a yes. I'd like to hire you, if you're available.
Well, it just so happens that I am. What can I do for you, Ms.
Linsky, but I'd prefer if you called me Sylvia.
Okay, Sylvia. I'm Tex Murphy. Have a seat.
I'm sorry if I disturbed your game.
Well, that's all right. I was losing anyway.
Would you like one?
No, actually, there's a rumor going around that those things are bad for you.
Lots of things are bad for you. That doesn't stop me from enjoying them.
So, why are you in the market for a PI?
My father, Carl Linsky, died a week ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
The police think it's suicide. I believe they're wrong.
Well, the police are usually pretty good in matters like this. I mean, I can't believe they'd make that big a mistake.
My father wasn't suicidal, and I'll pay you to prove it.
Okay, your father's name is... Sorry, what?
Carl Linsky.
Okay. Well, if we rule out the suicide, that leaves 3 other ways to go. I mean, it could have been an accident, or natural causes, or it could have been murder.
The police say that they have witnesses that saw him jump off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Well, I guess that rules out the first 2 then. So you think your father was murdered?
He didn't kill himself, I know it.
Look, if I take your case, you gotta understand there's no money-back guarantee. And it doesn't sound real promising.
I just don't know what else to do.
Who's the officer in charge?
The detective's name is Eve Clements.
All right, I'll go down and I'll talk to her. We can get together later and I'll tell you what I found out.
I'm staying at my father's house. Here's the address. Now, about the money up front. How much do you need? Because I haven't got a lot.
I'm running a special this week. If I decide not to take your case, there isn't going to be any charge.
Thank you. I'll be waiting.
Nice to meet you, Sylvia.
It doesn't sound like a very promising start.
Well, like I said, I was running out of cash fast and was pretty desperate for a case. I knew Detective Clements and figured I'd pay her a visit. The only problem was she and the Colonel were pretty tight, and like I told you, I'd gotten the Colonel in some trouble not long before.
Get out!
You busy?
If it isn't Tex Murphy. Sold out any fellow PIs lately?
I guess you heard about the little tiff I had with the Colonel. You know it's bad form to engage in malicious gossip.
We had a drink together a couple of nights ago. He said if I saw you, to be sure and tell you to go to hell.
Did you cut your hair? 'Cause it looks good. Really?
You know, the last thing I need is some pansy PI wasting my time.
Well, you know, I'd be willing to trade a nice shoulder rub for some information.
Give me one good reason why I should do any favors for you.
Okay. Because you're a good Christian woman and you live by the golden rule.
All right, Murphy. You're just lucky you caught me in a charitable mood. But be quick about it. Six witnesses saw Linsky take the dive. Their stories matched up and they all checked out.
And they all ID'd Linsky.
Not exactly. None of them were close enough to make an absolutely positive ID, but they described his general appearance, build, and clothing. Body wasn't found for a couple of days. Wasn't in the best shape when we fished it out of the bay. But we were able to make an identification using the personal effects found on the body.